Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astrologers Mysore. Today we are going to discuss about the most important planet for the materialistic outer layers of the world. I'll tell you what actually I'm speaking because I was thinking of what word actually should be more catchy for this particular planet, and this planet is Venus. If I talk about inner beauty, it would be Venus. If I talk about external beauty, it would be Venus. So now, when should we see Venus for the inner beauty? When should we see Venus for the external beauty? As Venus is the karaka for beauty. The inner beauty is the innocence, the artistic expressions of Venus, which is inbuilt in the native. The native can express very well at his young age itself. Very expressive, outwardly extrovert, and would want to understand this world better through many mediums. It might be art, it might be music, it might be design, many things. It might be any performing art, like drawing, sketching, painting, dance, whatever, drama. So Venus is the karaka. One of the major karakas is this. But the other biggest karaka, which is actually, running wild in all the astrological forums, is when will I get married? I don't know why this one particular question is eating everybody's brain. Now 90% of the questions which I answer on most of the online forums is, when will I get married? How will be my spouse? Whether she'll be beautiful, whether he will be handsome, whether he'll be settled here, abroad. All these things come under one major planet, Venus. So Venus is also in Sanskrit called as Shukra, and the karakatwa, that is the signification, is kalatra karaka. Kalatra means spouse, or the person whom you would want to get married to, would want to have intimate relationship with, whom you would want to share your feelings with. So a platonic relationship also can be referred to Shukra, a purest form of Shukra. As the Shukra gets impure, the person will tend from a platonic relationship towards getting into multiple relationships. So as the Shukra is pure, the person would never tend to get married. Karako bhavanashaya happens when Shukra is placed in the 7th house of a chart. It will delay or deny marriage, because the 7th house is the Kalatrasthana, that is this house of spouse. And if the planet which represents the Kalatra for that native is placed in the 7th house, then it itself will deny its own karakatwa, that is giving the opportunity to the native to get a spouse who is reciprocative. So if a pure Shukra is placed, so we should understand one thing here, please. If pure Jupiter is placed in the 5th house, Karako Bhavanashaya, you will not have children, or it's extremely difficult to have children. That is told in the epics. If Guru is in the 5th house in the D1 chart and also in the Lagna of the D7 chart, Karako Bhavanashaya happens. Same way, if Shukra, that is Venus, is placed in the 7th house in the D1 chart or in the Lagna of the D9 chart, Karako Bhavanashaya happens. The person will not have an interest or would be denied Why I am telling that or is because there might be interest because of other planetary aspects and placements and conjunctions. But this particular planetary placement of Venus in the 7th house will delay, deny, and sometimes will not give the opportunity for the native to get married at all, or even to have a single relationship throughout life. That is the purest form of Shukra. And why it is called the pure form? Pure is actually good, right? Anyway, try to understand. The pure form of planets do not want you to unnecessarily get into the samsara. They want you to have a life for yourself. They want you to invest your time into things what you want to do. After 50 years of marriage, if a person tells that I wasted all my 50 years marrying you, it is as good as throwing all the 50 years in the dustbin. I think you people can relate with what I am talking. You might have gone through so many relationships and then you would want to forget that whole episode itself. 2016 and 2018, I went into a relationship. Wow, that boy was handsome, he was very attractive, and the first few years was good. And then I don't know why suddenly he cheated, or this thing happened, that thing happened. I myself shouted on him, there's some misunderstanding happened, we left. See, the reasons of you getting into a relationship and the reasons of you coming out of a relationships might be because of many other planets in the horoscope, or because of a transit, or because of one big event which is happening maybe on a Grahan or on a Amavasya or on a Paurnami. Unnecessarily debates should not be done on that period. That is why no meetings should be kept on these dates. But anyway, Shukra gives you an opportunity to get into relationships only when if it is impure, placed impure, that it is associated with any planet, maybe benefic or malefic. For Shukra, it's like a white sheet of paper. You hold that paper and run through the Bada Bazaar of Calcutta for 100 meters. Bring it to your office, keep it on the table and see how white the paper is. The paper will be full of dust. Shukra is as good as the white paper. So I refer Shukra and Moon for this pure white sheet. Why? Because you can write anything on it and it will become that. So any planet which joins Moon or Shukra will give their influence totally to the planet. That is, Shukra will take up all the influence of the planet. If Jupiter is placed there, so it will take up the influence. If Saturn is placed there, it will take up the influence. So if Shukra should be placed alone actually. If it is placed alone and if it is having no aspect and it is well placed in the 7th house, then that person has a very strong yoga to live a bachelor or a spinster throughout life and do a lot of things in life. Some people love traveling, some people love to become great dancers, some people love to go into a particular research to a very high level. So these people, if they get married, you will be in roti, kapda and makan. Our major times we spend on roti, kapda, makan. And all these three are nowhere related to Shukra. Nothing. Hanging me on one hand, half of the body out of the train. Just imagine of the daily life in Mumbai. Is it Shukra? Shukra means you are having a beautiful garden in front of your house or in the backyard of your house. You have flowers there, you have fruit garden there, you have a beautiful easy chair there. Your wife brings a cup of coffee to you, or you bring a cup of coffee to your wife. Both of you sit there, play on a good music and have a nice time. Please understand, or you please introspect yourself. How many days have you people done this? Plugging with your ears, with your earplugs, glued to your phone. You might be drinking, eating, and you might be, doing whatever. You do not have interaction with people. Shukra means interaction. Shukra means all sorts of interaction. Drama is one of the karakatwas of Shukra, in which the people on the stage they get connected to you, they connect with you. It's not like a movie. It's not cinema. Cinema does not come under Shukra. No, it does not come under Shukra, it comes under Rahu. Drama, stage dramas, plays, all these comes under Shukra. Acting, that is real acting without cuts. It's not that, scene number 1, take 54. And then they will tell, okay, this take is good. 54 takes, if a person is taking to do that, there is no Shukra there at all. The Shukra is totally dead in that person. If the person is taking 1 or 2 or 3 takes, it's good, Shukra is there, very strong. There have been many actors in India who don't even go for takes. They finish their act in the first shot itself because they understand the scene very well. Nava Rasa, which also comes under Chandra because it is the basis, but expressions. Navarasa in expressions. If I tell Irsha, a person has to express that, jealousy, greed, all that in the face. Irsha, happiness, a person has to express happiness. I can't do that. I don't have such a strong Shukra, but still, my Shukra is very well placed so that at least I can understand what the people go through. So I can discuss about Shukra. This is also very important that all astrologers will not know everything about every planet because they have their own setbacks in their own charts. They are human, right? They are not robots. We are not computers like you key in something, somebody else keys in something, all data goes into the brain and it simply keeps coming out. If you go to that, then you should have understood, if people have taken the printouts from the computers, they would have understood that every 10 years they will be telling that there is a marriage and you will have 2 kids. That is because if 2 plus 2, 4. 4 plus 4, 8. It keeps on happening in computers. It doesn't think about the age, the desha, kala, vartamana, the situation, nothing. Every time, 5th Lord transiting, this combination, child will happen. Age of the person, 95. Computer doesn't understand this. So, if somebody has to do good programming, because my wish to do something before I cease to exist is to make astrology, a predictive astrology, obsolete. See that I will give all the maximum predictions my students put together, not one-handedly or single-handedly, I can't do it. Put together, put all the predictions online, make it like a Wikipedia so that nobody should go to any astrologer for any predictions. It's a waste of time. Astrology is to be used to understand your own self first. If a person doesn't want to understand his own self, he doesn't have any role to play in this society. Better go to a forest and sit there. See the tree and tree will see you, that's it. If a person does not want to understand anybody else and he is self-centered, he does not have any place in the society, and unfortunately, we have many people roaming around us who are like that. They are selfish and self-centered. Venus is not selfish. It is not self-centered. It is giving. Performing arts. That is to give to somebody. If there is no audience, what is performing arts? Zero. There should be somebody. It is reciprocative. Venus is one planet which actually shares knowledge. It's a practical planet, very practical, and the major karakatwas, I'll just come to the karakatwas. I just went into one karakatwa in detail. I'll just come into the other karakatwas also because it will take 2 days or 3 days or else if I keep going at this speed. I'll just go a little faster now, and so that then major important karakatwas, once again I'll stop and explain. Okay, it represents beauty as I told earlier. It represents spouse, it represents the veins and pipes and all systems in the body except the digestive tract. But still, some parts of the digestive tract also comes under Venus. But all the other veins, the blood vessels, the supplying and, taking back blood, veins take back blood. So all these blood vessels and veins and urinary tracts, all plumbing, sanitary, everything comes under Venus. So if there is a strong affliction of the Venus and the Jupiter and the Moon, there will be problems in the urinary tract to a higher extent. Okay. Anyway, I spoke about leisure, spending time in leisure, luxury, spa, all these things come under Venus. Then we have fragrance, perfumery, smell and taste. Having a good taste in clothing, expensive taste in clothing. They are very good housekeepers. Housekeeping does not mean that you are doing some labor work. No. I think everybody should be able to understand their own room when they come out of their room, whether the room is tidy or it is shabby. Shabbiness doesn't come under Venus unless it has a strong affliction like a Rahu, like a Mars, like a Saturn. If there is lethargy associated with Venus, then these people become extremely lazy, careless, and they are not worried about their surroundings. They eat whatever they want. But pure Venus, they cannot eat whatever they want. They are extremely particular. They will eat for their taste buds. They will not eat for their stomach. I think this should have gone across very clearly. Jupiter eats for the stomach. For the cause of eating, Jupiter fills its stomach. Venus, it's like Venus is like the dessert which comes after the lunch, or the dessert which comes after the dinner. It's that. You know how beautifully the desserts will be decorated. Small colors of sauce, or some decoration of all these petals, flowers. A dessert, when it comes with real decoration. Food is not simply curd rice always. If Venus is preparing curd rice, he will not just give rice and curd, mix it, put some salt there and just keep it in front of you. No. He will have put raisins. He will have put so many things. He will have also added cream. He will make the curd rice the richest dish of the lot if Venus is preparing the dish. So you should understand, Venus people, they can be very good chefs in high-level hotels, not in regular day-to-day cart pulling or regular, this takeaway parcels. No chance. They are not in fast foods, restaurants. No, they are in high-level chefs, like pastries, gourmet shops. Venus can do the best. They are very skilled because they are dexterous. So and they are artistic. So they go into carving. They go into many other things like interior decoration, carpentry. All sorts of beautiful interior decoration, lighting, everything, painting. This comes to them because of the innate character of Venus. Okay, they usually do not want to work under somebody. They want to be alone. They want to have their own ideas in the business. So it's very difficult for Venus to have a partnership with somebody unless it's dire circumstances that they are building up, they are becoming bigger, and only then they will start interviewing the other person to a higher level. They will scan the person to a level where they feel satisfied that yes, this guy is also skilled and artistic. Only then they will take the person into their fold. Okay, Venus represents horses, white color, and usually the pinkish color is what we associate with Venus, or the creamish color, and it represents snow. It represents knowledge, practical knowledge. All technology and everything comes under Venus, though some engineering fields may not come to Venus, but still technology comes to Venus. All high luxury cars, vehicles, because this is a Vahana Karaka. Vahana Karaka, people will suddenly get confused that, sir, I want to buy a small scooty or some two-wheeler, does it come under Shukra? No, it doesn't come under Shukra. If you are thinking of buying a Mercedes or a BMW or some bigger, higher level cars, all these designing and everything comes under Shukra, luxury. You have to have luxury, only then it is Shukra. Okay. The second most important karakatva other than the spouse for Shukra is fertility. The second biggest question, or the number of questions which I attend in my daily life, is to answer my clients with regard to childlessness, child delay and fertility. This is one of the prime questions. So Shukra represents the ovaries and the testicles in both female and the male. It actually doesn't represent the organ. It represents what is produced, the egg and the semen or the sperm, the quality. This is represented by Shukra. If it is placed with a fast moving planet, unnecessarily these people have premature problems, which I do not want to say here, but still they have problems. And if it is associated with Napumsaka planets like Mercury, which is malefically placed, or a Saturn, which is retrograde, then these people will have problems with associating or thinking, having a physical relationship with somebody. It will be very difficult for them. For them, the mind is not open with regard to having a physical relationship with somebody else. They feel it ugly. So the problem is that when you are matching charts, you should match with the same sort of requirement. You should not match a chart wherein a person has Venus with the Napumsaka and the other person has Venus with Mars. This person's requirement is very high, and here this person doesn't want it at all. So why is it important? Because I have got a lot of questions from people, all people like you, clients. They call up and ask, my marriage, where is it going? It's going nowhere. Is it going to end abruptly? Is he not going to come back to me? Or the woman will be like, what's happening? My husband is like this. The husband will be telling, what is happening, sir? My wife is like this. She doesn't understand. Some requirement will be there, no? So the first, 5 requirements of a person to live happily with another person is physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual and intellectual. These are the 5 entities. Okay? In Upanishad, it has been classified as Annam, Pranam, Manam, Vijnanam and Anandam. Same thing, I have classified it as physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual and intellectual. These are the 5 levels of understanding a couple has to have 100% match. I think now you people should understand how difficult it is to get 100% match. First level itself, most of them fail. There is no physical compatibility. Second level, it will fail. Emotional compatibility. If it passes both of this, then they will fail in the psychological compatibility, which says what is good, what is bad, I like this, I like that. So these compatibilities, the first most important one is the physical level. The physical level compatibility is represented or signified by Venus. If Venus is well placed, very good. Both of them will have very good conjugal, happy married life, at least in the first level. If in these 5 levels, 3 levels match and 2 do not, the marriage will still run. If the reverse happens, the marriage will break. That is, if it is less than 50%, think about it, it will be difficult for the marriage to run. There are certain cases and certain marriages where I have seen that only one level matches and it is very strong, extremely strong. Still the marriage is continuing. They have children, they are living together, but only one level matches. Maybe the emotion level matches. It matches to such a level that the wife cannot live without the husband cannot live without his wife. So the couple are together, though there is zero physical compatibility, there is no understanding of psychology between them, spiritually they both are apart, intellectually there is no match. With all this, emotional compatibility is there because they want each other for emotional level. That is, there is lot of affection, lot of caring. One likes the other because of that. So when we do marriage matching, we do all this, and the first matching what we do in the marriage matching is to understand whether the mutual positions of Venus in both the charts is good. Okay. They are, as I told, they are ambidextrous, attractive, poetic, expressive. They can become good actors, very good in logic, preachers in a limited way, because these people, they don't want to preach, they want to act. So preachers in a limited way, only for their community, club, their people only, their students. They do not unnecessarily want to trouble others. These people, Venus people, are very quiet, shy. They are into their own homes. They are extroverts in their community. You can realize that most of the artists and most of the fine art experts, they are bad social. They don't have a big social circle. They are known. They are famous. Everybody knows them. But they do not interact much. They tell, hello, how are you? Namaste. Fine, thank you. They'll just go back. So this is how it is. If it is malefic, when Venus is the only planet which is associated with Sukha, because it's the Karaka for Sukha, and that is why it is the significator, or it signifies the 4th house and the 12th house. 4th house is Vahana Sukha, Griha Sukha, mother, good relationship with mother, and good residence, good Griha. 12th house is Shayana Sthana Sukha, as I told you earlier. It is a place where you have the bed comfort. I was always joking when I was in the class, when I was studying, when the teacher would pronounce bed pleasure as blood pressure. Both are the same. If you don't get that, you will get this in the same place. You don't get bed pleasure, you will get blood pressure, because you can't control. So a person who has good, happy life, why will he get blood pressure? Is he mad to go through blood pressure? No. So I was always making jokes in my college life when I was talking about when we were studying astrology, that when Shukra becomes retro, actually I am not going to talk about retro planets now. Let me not go to that. I'll talk about retro planets. It's a very big subject, and it's a very rarely discussed subject, and I keep getting a lot of questions in my channels that please tell us about retro planets, what happens to retro Jupiter. That's what I think yesterday somebody asked me, when it is placed in this house and that house. These predictions and about the placements I will keep discussing, so you will get all your answers. Have patience. So if Venus becomes malefic, they become illogical, they are talented but they get the ego, they can't work in any place because they can't listen to people. They are very talented. When it becomes malefic also, the talent will not go. Talent will be there, but they will use the talent for wrong things. If a person is handsome, he does not have to use his physical appearance to unnecessarily spoil many other lives, trapping them, The same thing for the woman also. If she is very beautiful, she doesn't have to use that to, physically unnecessarily harass people. So both ways, men and women will take, this to a bad level. They'll take, advantage of the weakness of other people. So if it is malefically posited, we call them unethically promiscuous, indulgent, dishonest, distasteful, and not trustworthy. They love gaudy colors when it becomes, malefic. They love all sorts of gaudy and bright and dark colors. Okay, so these people can be very good in all sorts of industries, all sorts of businesses. Every establishment which has a commission based, agency based, export, import, buying, selling, they are very good in business. They are merchants actually. We call them merchants. We don't call them businessmen. They're bigger level, merchant. So these people can head a lot of institutions. They can become lawyers, judges, teachers, specialized craftsmen. They can give training, institutes. All this comes under Shukra. It's very big. I can't explain the whole thing. The garments, the cloth comes under moon, then the garments cut and you stitch it and it becomes Shukra. The thing from raw material to a definition of a finished product comes under Shukra. That is, if you give definition to something, it becomes Shukra. You just build a building, it's called a building. If Shukra builds the building, he will give the final touch to it. Then you will tell, wow. The same wall, you will tell wow to the surface. You don't know what is inside the wall. The same mortar will be there, the same cement will be there inside. But you are not seeing that now. Now you are seeing the glossy, fine finish. This fine finish is given by Shukra. So when Shukra becomes retro, these people are only skin deep. Not retro, sorry. When it is malefic, I'm sorry, I just again took retro. When Shukra becomes malefic, these people are skin deep. That is, they are only worried about their beauty. It's like, applying lipsticks, unnecessarily getting weaving and all those things for the balded head. Weaving, planting, hair planting, implants, stupidity. All these things, going for many injections, going for surgeries, plastic surgeries, what else? So they want to keep themselves in shape. Though they are 80, they will be coloring their hair, dyeing their hair, and they want to look young. They want to look young. They are not young. Mercury is not like that, no? They are young. They don't want to look young. They are young. However, they might be bald, they might have grey hair or no hair, they are not bothered. They are young, they feel young. If Shukra is malefic, Shukra is like that if it is benefic. Shukra looks very elegant and beautiful. As they age, they are more, attractive. Shukra. But if it is malefic, even at young age, they don't want to show their real self. They fake. And this fakeness may be because of the Rahu's mix or something like that. I'll come to Rahu and later on discuss all these things. Jewelry is one of the things like artistic jewelry, even makeup jewelry, all these regular, not the gold ones or the silver ones. I'm telling you about the regular jewelry which is there in the market, which we call as artificial jewelry. It also comes under Shukra, but a good level one, good one. The wrought silver, these blackened silver. These are all jewelries. What we call as offbeat. Not the regular traditional, not the contemporary art. These things come under Shukra. So last time when I was talking about Jupiter, I did not tell you the mandala. There was some mistake which I had done. I have already put that on the comment box of the Chandra video. I had told Chandra is Dirgha Chaturshra mandala, which is wrong. Chandra has the mandala of a square, Chaturshra mandala. Tanduladanya Syopari. So that is Chaturshra mandala and rice. Tandula dhanya, rice. For Jupiter, it is Dirgha Chaturshra Mandala, that is a rectangle, and that is Chanaka dhanya. Chanaka dhanya means chana dal. Chana, not the dal, chana itself. You know, this is the golden chana. You get golden chana, not the Kabul one, the real Desi one, which is golden chana. That is for Jupiter. So, if you are doing dhan, dharm for these planets, which most probably when I am teaching you the remedial measures, maybe after a year or so, because the number of classes which I will be taking, I am going slow. Let me go slow. I am listening from many things from my clients and my students who are actually watching these videos. They are telling me that I am going fast, but I am going very slow. The subject is vast. If you need to complete it in 4 years, and this is the speed. If you want me to go slow, then it will be 8 years. So, Chanaka dhanya is for Jupiter. It is a Dirgha Chaturshra Mandala. And this is Nakshatrakara Mandala, Panchakonakara Mandala. Shukra is Panchakonakara Mandala, and it sits in the east. All these directions, what I am trying to give you now and giving now for all the planets, is not the other Dikbala which I will talk about the planets later. Like for example, Jupiter represents north as per this Navagraha Sthana. I am not talking about the Dikbala as per the astrological thing and astronomical. I will come to it later. I am telling you the traditional directions now, please. So, Shukra means east, and it is Nishbhavadhanya, that is the lablab. Lablab is one of the beans. You can please scan that. You will understand what is the color of Shukra. That is the lablab beans are the colors of Shukra. So, Nishbhavadhanya. So, Shukra, I have told you it's a horse there, and for Jupiter it is an elephant. So there are many things which I have left out. That doesn't mean I am not going to cover them. It's going to come as and when I will be taking up planets. Detailed planetary discussions will keep happening, and many things will come which will not be repeated. So thank you very much for today's class. So tomorrow we will be discussing about the heavy, big and super planet called Saturn. Thank you.